Okay, so could you please start by introducing yourself?
Yes, I am Maddie Langley. I'm a senior and I am the head of photography at Platform Magazine.
My name is Maggie Kimmett. I'm a junior in fashion and textile design, and I'm the modeling director.
Hi, my name is Megan Early. I'm a senior here at the College of Textiles, and I'm a co-lead stylist with Mackenzie Pierce for Platform.
I'm Mackenzie Pierce. I am the co-lead styling director.
Hey, I'm Morgan Snow. I'm the director of set design for Platform this year, 2020 to 2021. I've been working with Platform since freshman year of college. This is my junior year. I was on the styling team for 2 years, and I love what I do. I study FTM, fashion textile management at State, and Platform is the best.
So how did you prepare for the photo shoots?
So photo shoots take a lot of preparation and a lot of teamwork and communication between the other members of Platform. It basically starts off with just an idea, a concept, and then you have to go through and search for photos that maybe represent the mood or the energy you're hoping to convey for photo shoots, and then you make a mood board. And what we have to do is I have to pitch them to the rest of the board members, and they can approve or deny said photo shoot. And a lot of times it's, other members will come up with like incredible ideas and be like, okay, I have like this weird general concept. What do you think? And then we'll pull together to actually create like a concrete idea, which is like super cool. And then after that stage, everything's about dates. And that's always the most chaotic part of it because Mother Nature is not our friend in this case, especially considering this year, because we're doing all of our shoots outside. We have to heavily rely on just hoping that the day that we plan for works out, and it worked out pretty well. I think this semester all but for one shoot. So we'll pick a day and then we scout locations. So the head of set design has been heavily leading that, where she's actually going out and scouting locations for us, making sure that there's enough space for everyone and that it kind of fits the mood that we're looking for. And then once we've decided on everything, we send out information to our team and they sign up because we want people that are passionate about the concepts to shoot the models at the photo shoots. Because if you're not excited, then we really want like really good photos. So, but that's pretty much what it takes behind the scenes. I feel like in a very vague sense.
And then what was your inspiration behind any of the photo shoots or specific ones that you worked on?
Right, okay, so a lot of times it'll start with one image. So you'll kind of see something and be like, okay, I really like how this looks. And so with the Angelic Renaissance, that one was pretty easy. It was kind of just this photo of like a model, and she just was like really glowing, and it just had like this really ethereal look about her. And I was like, that would be a fantastic way to photograph our model. And so I talked about it with set design, and we started picking out more moods and things like that, like with like golden hour. So that one was pretty straightforward. Spooky Shoot is kind of like our joking name for it. Originally started as a punk goth graveyard type scene. We knew it was going to be black and white. I was really pushing because it'd been a while since we'd done a black and white shoot for the magazine. I think it's been like 2 or 3 issues. So I really wanted to do another one. And so we found some black and white photos, and I was like, I thought we could find like a really good set of woods in North Carolina, and of course we did.
Second shoot was Y2K 2000s. I was just honestly not much inspiration except for literally just the 2000s. I'm obsessed with glam trash, flip phones, Paris Hilton, everything in between, and the goth 2000s. And I just felt like it being 2020 and 10 years later, another decade, see a throwback shoot and how that's inspired. Because there is a lot of design elements from the 2000s, because 2000s either you love it or everyone hates it. Some of the fashion, because there were some mistakes, but there were also some amazing iconic moments that really actually have influenced fashion today. So that was definitely a large inspiration.
What was your favorite photo shoot from this semester?
From this semester, I think that my favorite was the cover shoot. I know we didn't talk about that, but I think my favorite spread shoot was probably the Angelic one, and I don't think we have a name for that one yet, but the very first shoot, it was like kind of a renaissance, like there was a painter, he was painting angels. That one was probably my favorite.
My favorite photo shoot this semester was the Angelic Renaissance shoot that was held at Lake Johnson. It was just such a pretty shoot. Like, I loved working like on the lake, and all the outfits were just so like full of life. Like they were just like very angelic and pretty, and the models were like glowy, and they just looked like they were having so much fun the entire time. I just love that shoot so much.
Probably either the spooky shoot in the woods, kind of like the graveyard gothic, because the location for that was beautiful. It just was perfect, and the models for every shoot, but it was just insane, and styling as well. But also the year 2000 shoot was just really fun. It was just, we just got to play all these old like throwback jams during it and mess around. We just had a lot of props for that. It was very much like a 2000s bedroom, so there's just a lot of interaction and a lot of fun that day. So I'd say either the spooky shoot or the 2000s shoot for me.
The 2000s, the Y2K, just because there were so many props and like fun ways for them to like pose and interact, and just like it didn't have to be serious. It was very fun and like energetic.
So what is your favorite part of the process?
It's definitely a lot different now going from a photographer to now more of the organizational administrative perspective, because obviously my favorite part used to be the actual photographing. But now I guess my favorite part is probably coming up with the concepts, because sometimes it can be hard because you don't want to, you want to be unique and you want to come up with stuff that's, portrays what we want as a magazine and stuff that's definitely in our reach too. So it's like this fun game of, just searching and thinking and trying to brainstorm new ideas, which I think is the most fun. Even if like I can, give them 10 ideas and then the board's like, we like 2 of these, but it's okay because they always end up coming out so well, and it's just so exciting when you see what originally started as like a random passing thought to suddenly, like, I have pictures, I have images, it's in a print magazine, like this is so cool.
My favorite part of the process is when everything comes together. So that's at the photo shoots when we see the finished set and all the models start getting dressed, and like we start to see our vision come to life. That's hands down my favorite part.
I think my favorite part of the whole process is not even just with styling, but just like coming together at the beginning of the semester. We're talking about all of our ideas. There's so many issues that always come up throughout the semester, and then at the end of the semester, like once we finally get to see the magazine and seeing everything come together and everything looks so good, that's definitely the best part. It's the most rewarding. It's nice to be able to look in and see how everything came together.
I guess like when I tell the model to do something, or like, let's try this, or like a lot of times it does not work, or like it just looks awkward, and then you're kind of like, but when you see the photographer taking the photo and like step back and it's working, and like you can see like, oh, this is gonna be the shot, like this is good. I guess that's like the most rewarding part for me.
And have you done anything new or made any changes this semester that you feel has benefited platform?
Changes necessarily in my position, no, as in the way that set design was actually completely new this year, so it's all kind of been new, if that makes sense. I know now what sticks on walls and what does not, and what holds up backdrops and does not. So a little trial and error there, but otherwise large scale changes or anything, no.
Yeah, that was this is an interesting question. So I definitely think that every year we do the same thing, where it's like we have to make changes in order to better ourselves as a magazine. Especially because we want to be a true publication. And a lot of it is just, I say this to my team a lot, but I think I've really opened the door for like transparency. So I'm making sure that my team knows everything that's going on, and I know everything that's going on with them, which has been really, really helpful in making sure that everyone's been held accountable for what they need to do, and I can be held accountable for things, of course, that are my fault. And even now, I have like a list of things like, okay, these are things that I want to implement next semester. So I'm going to be making even more changes for the next issue. But I think the biggest change this year was we had a lot of new people this year. So a lot of it had to do with me probably more whispering behind the scenes of like, hey, like, why don't we try this? Which I think worked out super, super well.
I feel like a change that's benefited platform is the styling team. We have started to reach out to the stylists, and they put their clothing in a document, and I feel like that's just made it so much easier for not just the stylists, but for like all the other boards to see like what we're doing and like what kind of pieces we're like pulling together for each shoot. It's just an easy way to show what we're doing to everyone on the team.
So everything's been different in general this semester because of COVID, and so we've had to do everything online, whereas previously we would do it in person. And so nothing crazy this semester, but we've talked about some changes that we're going to make for next semester that I think we will probably keep even without, not just for COVID, like probably for all other future semesters, we're going to get everything planned at the beginning. So we're going to have, once we get all of our shoots solidified, we're going to figure out all the models, all the styling and everything beforehand, whereas previously we would have done it shoot by shoot. So I think that's something we're going to do next semester that we'll probably keep. But this semester has just been like different in general because of COVID. We've had to work through a lot of just different issues.
And I guess that kind of leads me to the next question. What is your biggest challenge this semester?
The biggest challenge, I think, with styling, I think we have a good thing going. Like, to share all the clothing options, we put it all in a Google Doc. And then for styling, we have like a Google Slides. We do the pictures of the models, and, stylists can upload their outfits, and that's worked pretty well. But I think the biggest challenge is fit issues, because previously this would all be done in person before the shoots, and so the stylists can meet with their models, have the outfits they've picked out, try it on, see how it looks, and make any changes, whereas this is all being done online. And so even though some stylists have provided us with like backup outfits, the day of the shoot comes and the model tries it on and something doesn't fit, and then we just kind of have to figure it out from there, whereas like that was never really an issue before this semester. So that's probably definitely the biggest thing, and we still have to figure out kind of how to fix that for next semester.
Probably like when I first, because this is my first year as the director for modeling, so I guess like when I had to first meet all of the other directors, because they've all been here before and I was new, so just like warming up to them and like getting to feel comfortable speaking up, because I'm a little bit on the shyer side at first, so it was just like warming up was probably hard.
I think the biggest challenge is trying to dress models, not seeing them in person. So we have to like get their measurements, or like they send in their measurements to Maggie, the modeling director, and we have to try to figure out what pieces we think will look good on their body type, and just everything, trying to dress them without actually being with them.
I think the biggest challenge this semester was mostly just dealing with all of these variables that we've never really had to deal with before. So, we have the pandemic. So it's making sure everyone is safe, making sure the photographers feel safe and they feel comfortable, but they're still being able to get their creative vision across without putting anybody in harm's way. Especially with timing, because we have a shortened semester this year, but we actually wanted to produce more content. So it's like working with the chief and working with the creative team and being like, what can we practically do? And then we ended up doing, I think, 4 photo shoots this year. Typically, we usually only get to do 3. So that was really exciting. But I reiterated this, but it was so scary as my first year being the photography director, and then I had all of these new team members, and I was like, oh man, like I'm responsible for them, and I just want them to do super well. But then everything has worked out just stellar. We were able to, do safe practices at magazine shoots, and all of my photographers have produced just incredible work, and it just makes me so proud. And I tell them every email, I'm like, I saw all of your stuff, it looks incredible, like thank you, it was beautiful. And so it just makes me feel like a proud mama for sure.
Can you talk about your favorite prop?
Well, my most used prop would be the white backdrop that Lily gave me at the beginning of this year that has been at every shoot. But my favorite, in the Angelic Renaissance shoot, there were some beautiful pieces. I have these 2 little Cupid, like stone Cupids that were used. And there were some beautiful like pearls and like glasses. And then I do, for the disco shoot, which was our last spread, I made a balloon arc, which was a hassle. Well, it was a lot to make. I wouldn't say a hassle, never a hassle when in reference to platform. It was so fun once it was made. It was just so cool. It just felt like a complete throwback photo booth kind of thing with a Polaroid. So I feel like that was, and that's a large prop. That thing was like 6 feet tall.
And what was your favorite outfit from the shoots?
I really liked the cover shoot outfits. I don't know if we can like count that or talk about that yet, because I wasn't part of the spreads, but the cover shoot outfits were really good. The Angelic one had some really good pieces. Lily, the editor-in-chief, she had some really, really beautiful pieces that like made the shoot. Same with the disco shoot. Mackenzie had actual like vintage dresses from her mom from the 80s that were perfect and kind of made the shoot again. So those are probably my favorites.
So how do you think that modeling has compared in these shoots compared to previous semesters?
I don't know, like we lost a lot of good models from like the graduating class. So it was interesting to like we did have a lot of new people this year, but like they have done an amazing job and like really did not need that much guidance. I don't want to say it's like better because I think it was really great, but I do think that with having set design, it's made modeling much more interactive and easier to be like different than like how we used to be, just because they have more things to like interact with and feel like they're actually on a set versus just like posing. So I think it's upped its game a bit, but we have more work to do for sure.
So what goes into choosing the locations for the photo shoots?
So a good amount of things. First, accessibility, I would say. So we want to make sure that all model stylists, everyone can get there. And then number two, it would definitely be the location actually fitting the vision. So like our Angelic Renaissance shoot was right beside Lake Johnson, waterside, which was beautiful. And the reflection that we got from that was awesome. So making sure that the setting really, because sometimes you can build a set, you can have a location and build like physically a set that you don't like the outside, like if it's outside, has no interaction with it. But due to stuff being outside mainly this year and we wanted to just have more variety in our shots, I had to make sure that the setting was cohesive with our concept. So like I wouldn't, obviously I wouldn't do any of these shoots downtown in a public urban area, very more secluded and nature resigning. But thirdly, lighting. Lighting is very large. I always would call the photography director, Maddie, once I was scouting out locations, because you want to make sure lighting. If you don't have great lighting and you don't have lighting equipment, really, really important to make sure we have that, or the shots aren't going to be the best that we can have. So those three things: accessibility, cohesiveness, and lighting.
Are there certain photo shoots where you place more emphasis on certain aspects?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like the Angelic Renaissance was very much about prop usage and styling there, because that set was very kind of like a coven, like an angel, delicate coven, and then the painter. But then like with the spooky shoot, it was much more, we did have a lot of props for it, but our location there was really just like this large wooden, like it almost looked like Twilight Woods. And it was just the models going out deep into there. So yeah, it just depends. When your concept or vision can be completed without a lot of props, then we stray away, because there's no point in putting in lots of effort if we can do that. So yeah, some of them, something that's much more detailed, which I feel like to build the theme of like an angel and delicate divine energy is a lot more detail oriented, when spooky could be like creepy pictures from afar, even though it goes in deeper than that. But you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Even when I was there at that one shoot, I noticed how diverse the models were. So
Yeah.
Is that intentional? And when you're like looking for certain models, how do you go about that?
Well, when I was choosing like who made the team and who didn't make the team, I definitely did, like I do want a diverse team. I want everyone to be represented. And I take most people that do apply for modeling, but it's mostly like up for who's the most willing to do like different kinds of poses. And I think everyone has a good look, like however they look. So I don't know. I guess like the people that applied, we did get a lot of diversity, which is really amazing, because then we get to like represent lots of different kinds of people and just get different outlooks from different types of models. So I guess it wasn't intentional, but we did get blessed with lots of different types of faces.
And if you could describe platform in 3 words, what would they be?
I would describe platform by saying we are creative,
Family, bold,
Fashion,
collaborative,
powerful,
stunting,
ambitious,
inspirational.
inclusive.
fun.
passionate.
A platform, obviously, for everyone's creativity.
Well, thank you so much for your time. That's all the questions we have. So thank you so much.
All right.